What's up, home slash Lucas here. So today I'm gonna share with you guys 5 things I wish I knew when I started learning flips. These 5 things would have saved me a whole lot of time, a whole lot of trouble. Hopefully it'll seriously help some of you guys out there so you guys don't have to go through the same trouble that I went through when I was trying to learn flips. Focus. All right, so let's get started with number 1. This one covers a whole spectrum of problems that I've had over the previous years. Number 1, I wish I would have focused a little more on technique rather than just raw power. Now, not that I didn't focus on technique at all. I mean, you have to have some technique to do a flip, but honestly, it was like 99% power, 1% technique. I saw the flip, I'm like, okay, I can do it. And then I would go try to do it. So honestly, I'm not saying I had to be a technique freak, but really just maybe spending like 20% of my time on technique and then 80% on power, I would have vastly improved, rather than I did. One great example is the gainer switch. You can see throughout the previous years when I first started trying to train this move, my J step's all wrong. I'm traveling forward and down rather than traveling back around and up. My chest is like completely down on the ground. Like my chest is completely bent over. If I would have just taken the time, practiced a couple standing back flips, regular standing back flips, worked on getting my chest up, worked a little bit more on that form on the landing, I wouldn't have struggled for over 5 years on trying to do one gainer switch. It's taking a lot more time than it would have taken if I would have just learned the correct technique from the start. All this technique talk leads me to number 2. I wish I would have just realized that learning flips on the trampoline will actually help with learning flips on the ground. So I stayed away from the trampoline when I was learning flips. I steered away. I was like, no way we're getting on that trampoline. Because when we get on that trampoline, what it's gonna do to us is it's gonna take away from learning flips on the ground. It's gonna make it too easy on that trampoline. Then when we go back to the ground, we're gonna be not only discouraged, but we're gonna be weaker because we're gonna be used to using the trampoline bounce rather than creating our own bounce on the ground. That was my thought. See, it was all 100% power, you know what I mean? But then after having a trampoline now, I realized, holy moly, the trampoline really works with learning flips on the ground. I started tricking in 2012, but it took me until 2017 before I got a trampoline. That rhymes. Did it take away from my flips on the ground? No, not at all. In fact, it actually helped with my flips on the ground. Yeah, that's right. After getting the trampoline, I was able to get gainer switches because I was able to correct my gainer switch technique and run through it more and more on the trampoline. Also, it helped me with other moves like the Arabian. I never once was even close to that move before the trampoline. After learning it on the trampoline and going through it a few more times on the trampoline, I was able to take it to the ground within a day. 1 day. Yeah, when you leave the trampoline, it's gonna help you. It's gonna be a little bit more bouncy. It's gonna take away from your jump. Okay, sure, but in the air, the spins, that spin power, it's pretty much exactly the same as on the ground. So all in all, the trampoline is a huge bonus when it comes to learning flips on the ground. This takes me to tip number 3, okay? This is regarding more of tricking combos, and I know a lot of you guys out there watching this are probably into tricking, trying to learn tricking combos. One more thing I steered clear of were double leg combos, like punches. So like say I do a backflip, punch, full. I stayed away from that. I steered away from that in my early days because I thought learning things on 2 legs is gonna be taking away my energy and making me weaker for learning things on 1 leg. I'm gonna be more of a sissy if I learn things on 2 leg. I gotta push myself to learn things on 1 leg. Yeah, we're skipping that 2 leg stuff. We're just learning things on 1 leg. My mindset was, I wanna learn cork swing through cork, which I still can't do, or gainer switches, or gainer swing through cork, combo on 1 foot. I wanna learn that. So why on earth would I ever put 2 feet down? I steered away from this technique until 2017. I was like, listen, if we're not gonna learn this the way we wanna get it in its final form, then there's no point learning it at all. When in fact, all I was doing was making 1 leg extremely sore, getting shin splints that you wouldn't believe, shin splints beyond belief. Like running shin splints? This was like full throbbing bone shin splints all the way around on my left leg. Honestly, I'm probably like an inch shorter over here. I wish I would have just thought, hey, let's progress it like a ramp, okay? Instead of skipping this step, let's just work on the 2-leg techniques first. That way we can use both legs and then take one leg out. I think that would have worked a lot better for me. In fact, it has. 2017, I started doing more punch moves, and then 2018, you know, I finally landed B-twist swing through cork. That leads me to number 4, all right? This is a very important one. I wish I would have known, just because it doesn't feel right doesn't mean it's wrong. When I was learning moves, specifically, I'll just say it right now, touchdown raise, it never felt right. That move did not feel right at all, right? So I thought, I'm just doing it wrong. I can't do it, I'm doing it wrong. Years later, right now, looking back at the old footage, I'm realizing, yeah, it's kind of wrong, but honestly, it's more right than many other moves that I was doing back in the day. It's not even that bad. Honestly, it's pretty right. The only reason it felt wrong is just because it was one of those moves that was more unnatural for me. If I would have just really focused on looking at the footage, continue training it until, you know, I would be able to go through into a gainer or a cork, maybe work on my technique a little more, I would have had it. But because I thought it didn't feel right, I thought it must have been wrong. That's not true. Okay, and this also works both ways. Just because something feels right doesn't mean it is right. Yeah. Basically every flip I did. The 540 kick, I thought I was doing a kick. I seriously thought I was doing a kick back then. Did I even see that footage? Like, dude, how delusional is this man? You know, just because it feels right doesn't mean it is right. All right, and that leads me to number 5. But first, bonus tip. I wish I would have listened more to my friends who were better than me. Training at the gymnastics center, I had, you know, friends there, people who were better at me at, you know, gymnastics, forms, certain flips, certain tricks, and they were trying to give me advice, friendly advice. Hey man, you need to keep your chest up more when you're doing your back tuck. And I'm just like, right over my head, you know? I'm thinking like, you know, yeah. Keeping my chest up would have saved me so much trouble if I would have just taken 30 minutes, maybe just one day, working on trying to land more straight up. Oh, the weird thing though, it's not because I was cocky that I wasn't listening. It was literally because I was just too in the zone. And that leads me to number 5. I wish I would have kept my priorities straight. What am I talking about? So back when I was learning to do flips, I was also trying to gain weight. I was trying to get strong, all right? I'm trying to gain weight and get strong and learn flips too. Like, it was just back and forth in my head, you know? I'm gonna go lift weights, I'm gonna get strong, I'm gonna learn flips. And not once did I periodize. What I mean is, not once did I spend time learning flips, spend time gaining weight, spend time learning flips, spend time gaining weight. No, it was just like, learn flips and gain weight, learn flips and gain weight. And I feel like that severely impacted my flip training because I was fat as fuck. Eating all that food not only left so much sludge in my stomach, to the point where I'm like jumping and trying to do flips with all this food moving around, but it also caused me just to be overweight, making it harder to spin my body in the air, making it take way longer to learn flips in the first place. Not only that, but all the intense flip training was taking away so much of my central nervous system, we'll just say energy, that when I would actually go to, you know, lift weights, I wasn't really getting any stronger. So it was just this big contradiction back and forth throughout so many years. Power moves, powerful flips, and power lift. And I just turned into this fat blob of a mess, honestly, with long hair. So my piece of advice for number 5, just to summarize it so you don't get confused, is like, if you want to learn multiple things, be sure you have times of like really focusing on one thing and then maybe dipping it down as you learn something else, instead of trying to keep everything just filled to the max. You're gonna overtire yourself, you're gonna run your central nervous system to the ground. That's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope these 5 pieces of advice help you guys out. Those of you guys learning new moves, learning flips, learning heck, breakdance power moves, heck, learning anything. I think this can really play over into anything, honestly. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I got another Throwback Thursday coming out. More B-boy battle footage. A lot of you guys enjoyed that last one. You guys said you wanted to see more B-boy battles. I got some more B-boy battle footage. 2 rounds, baby. 2 rounds. Don't forget to subscribe. Peace. You all have a good one. I'll see you all in the next video.